Welcome to Dynamo Dynamics, winning goals to digital dominance. I'm your host, Danny Perry, and with me as always is my guy, Kai Peterson, and we're going to talk a lot about football and other stuff. But Kai, first. How you doing?
I'm good. I survived the freeze.
You survived yet another freeze in Houston where we don't have winter. We've bragged about that our whole lives. Yet the last few years, we've had some of the worst winter storms anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
But only for what, 2 days, 3 days? So
I guess. But don't interrupt my misery, man. I feel we have earned the right to complain about this after as cold as it's been and as much snow as we got here in this area that never ever sees it. So.
Yeah, but I mean, we got the Dynamo coming up in I think a little less than a month. So
you know what the Dynamo remind me of? Did you ever watch Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Show about nothing.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the Dynamo tonight, and we really don't have
much.
Anything to talk about. What's going on with them? Who's the squad? Who's on the team this year?
I couldn't tell you. But
total radio silence.
Yeah, the transfer window has been pretty quiet, I'd say. Quiet for players coming in. Players going out, I mean, Carrasquilla, we already talked about him. Yeah. He's gone. And also, Sebastian Ferreira is gone as well.
Are gone as well. And yeah.
And the players that we brought in, I know is one guy got drafted. Another guy we picked up off a waiver. The guy we drafted is a defender. Picked up a guy off waiver. He's a defender. And we brought up a guy from the second team. He's a defender as well. So very defensive minded, or it's just a very odd transfer window because there's not much.
Have we ever seen a team with all defenders, though? Maybe this is the first year it'll be all defenders in every position on the field.
Maybe so. But, I mean, we still have Dorsey. He's coming back. I know Eliu, he'll be back as well. So we have, some players returning for sure.
I mean, I think the core of the squad is there. However, it's just odd to me, following the bigger leagues around the world and stuff. There's usually so much hype these weeks leading into the season, especially during a transfer window. And so any incomings, any outgoings, even rumors of become news all around the sporting world. And this level of silence for our club is kind of like what's really going on. And we've seen Wilfried Zaha is coming to MLS. So
with
that's
Charlotte.
big news.
So I mean that's major news because he could be the leading scorer of the MLS this next season for sure.
I
He's
agree.
He's a great player. So, but with
kind of surprising that he showed up to you in Charlotte of all places.
In Charlotte, not surprising that he really showed up. But to Charlotte, I was thinking maybe more of
one of the LA, New York,
or maybe Chicago, something
somewhere bigger.
Yeah, Charlotte, interesting. Maybe who knows?
They're making noise.
Yeah,
so their fans are probably hyped for the season.
Yeah,
and we're waiting. Dynamo, tell us something.
I mean the transfer window. I'm pretty sure it's closing.
It's closing in a couple of days, and they're going to have to announce the rosters at some point.
Yeah,
the season starts in 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks or something like that. So we shall eagerly await. We'll be there either way it goes. We'll be there talking about it either way it goes. But we're a little baffled by the silence right now.
Yeah, but to tell you the truth, there hasn't been too many major transfers in this window in the whole world. I think the biggest one is Kyle Walker.
It's true.
And other than him, I couldn't really tell you about another truly big name.
The winter window is always
a little bit slower,
or when someone really needs a player of a particular, and you usually overpay during this window if you're going for it. But I know a team that could use a striker, but we won't go there right now. There's a lot of other stuff going on in the sporting world, though. We didn't get a chance to talk about the college football championship that took place last Monday.
Pretty exciting game. Ohio State came away with the win, kind of expected, but Notre Dame fought. They went down early and they were down at the half, I think, by 2 or maybe 3 scores, and
they fought back.
Yeah.
But they were overmatched. I mean, it was, I think we talked about it the last time that Ohio State was the best team in the country. There was no doubt about it. And I picked Notre Dame just to be contrarian. That'll teach me. But Ohio State, basically, their quality came through, and I think congratulations.
Yeah, congrats to them. I think the NIL, they should enforce a different rule, though, because I've seen more transfers in the college football world. Players already, as soon as that game ended, even before, players are already transferring to different universities.
Yeah, it's happening in basketball and football.
They need to have some kind of regulation, because I've seen some players transfer to 4 different schools in 4 years, and it's like, all right.
Not in football, but in basketball, like Tremont Mark, who scored the winning layup against A&M this weekend in college basketball. He was a U of H guy, transferred to Arkansas, all of a sudden ended up at Texas. And I saw the highlights. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What's he doing in Texas now? So
there needs to be some kind of tweak to that, because it's
changed the game. There's no doubt about that. I think it's, rightfully, I think the players are adding value to their names and likenesses and all of that. And I think that's a good thing. But I do think, to your point, that it's kind of the Wild West right now.
Yeah. The University of Miami basketball head coach, he resigned right before the season started, because they made it to the Final Four either last year or the year before, and he had those guys coming back, and all of them left for the transfer portal, and he was just like, what's the point? We made it to the Final Four. What more do you want?
It's like you're recruiting your own guys continuously now. So game by game almost. It's like, hey, you're going to be here for the next game, right?
Yeah, it's a little crazy. It's definitely a different sport almost at this point. It
is. It's more professional. I think that's really
it is a professional sport, in my opinion.
I think there's always been money that's changing hands. And allegedly or not allegedly, but now it's above board, and you're seeing exactly how much money there is involved in college sports, and it's kind of mind-boggling. All of these guys are constant free agents, but But speaking of professionals, we did have NFL as well this weekend. So did your teams win?
No, I wanted the Bills to beat the Chiefs, and then I was rooting for Washington over the Eagles, but both my teams that I was rooting for lost, and we got another Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl. So who are you rooting for?
Is it okay to root for nobody? Can I root for a tie? Can no one win the Super Bowl, please? Is that possible? Has that ever happened? No? Crap. I was really hoping for Washington and Philadelphia to end in a non-winner in both NFC East teams, and of course, my team outside looking in. But somebody had to win it. So Philly looks excellent, though. They really do, with Saquon Barkley just being how the Giants let him go for nothing is just beyond imagination. I can't see. I'd really like to. Actually, it was on Hard Knocks. The discussions leading up to that. So I guess we should go back and take a look at that and see how they came to that genius decision to let maybe the best player in the whole league just walk away. To a division rival who's stomped them twice during the year, and now he's going to play in the Super Bowl.
I don't understand that either, but because I knew he was already top 3 running back in the league, and this year it's a 1 or 2, him or Derrick Henry, so it's like
mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
Don't understand it.
But the biggest news in the Chiefs versus Bills game were there were only 2 outrageous penalties that were talked about. That's progress, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the Chiefs really won the game for sure, but the one call that could have determined the game was the 4th and 1. I think it was a bad call for the spot, but
I think so as well.
If you're leaving it up to those few inches against the Chiefs, you're basically flipping a one-sided coin.
Exactly. I thought that 50-50 ball was kind of questionable as well.
Yeah.
I thought those were 2 big plays that really changed the game. But, I mean, it was a pretty entertaining game, though. It came right down to and Buffalo had a chance. I mean, Josh Allen, he put the ball right where only his guy could get it, and he dropped it. So they had their shot. So it's Kansas City and Philadelphia again. All right. Anyway, I'll watch the game anyway. Are you going to watch?
Yeah. I'll definitely watch. But, I mean, we had Champions League pick back up, and a few teams, I think, solidified their spot for the round of 16, which is Arsenal, and a few other. Liverpool is up there. I think AC Milan as well. Bayern, we took a horrible loss away. We have been probably the worst club in Champions League right now playing away. I think we have 1 win out of 4. Playing away.
I didn't know it was to that extent.
Yeah, we lost to Villa, Feyenoord, and I don't even want to go through the rest,
but you're still in it.
Yeah,
I mean, if you guys,
we should pretty much qualify from here. I think even if we lose, we'll still qualify and just wipe our minds and come back.
Yeah, come to the knockout rounds. And that's the main thing, is to get to the knockout rounds. And I think the top 8 is I think there's going to be a little bit of fluctuation on, based on this next set of games, but by and large, I feel the top four set. And then City, we're still kind of following in their misery, are we?
Yeah, I mean,
they're outside looking in,
and they have a must-win coming up, and they're playing Club Brugge, and
who has a must-win as well.
They will win or draw.
Yeah,
win or draw for them. So they're going to play hard.
Wow. That seems to be, I think that probably for this final set of matches, that's the game.
Yeah.
That's the one as well.
For sure.
Yeah. Who's going to make it into the knockout round.
Yeah.
And most of the world will probably be Club Brugge fans for that day.
I think I will be, for sure.
I definitely will. I don't mind seeing Manchester City in their current state. Even though most teams, we were talking about it earlier, most teams, like, they're fifth in the domestic league right now. A fifth place finish.
It's pretty solid. It's a pretty good year for you.
That's you're playing European football at the Europa League and pushing up against the Champions League, and most teams would take that. But for City, this is a miserably disappointing year.
They did just beat Chelsea though over the weekend, so who knows how that'll turn out. But there are a lot of really good clubs in the who didn't qualify for the round of 16 in the initial knockouts. I know Real Madrid isn't going to qualify for the round of 16. I think they're going to be stuck. Bayern as well. I think there's a PSG.
Were you saying for the automatic 8?
Yeah, for the automatic 8, they haven't qualified, and they should qualify for the knockout game. So I don't know. There's going to be a lot of good matchups in that knockout.
It's funny. We were at the beginning when this new format was released. We were really kind of concerned about it, but I guess looking back, I don't really hate it.
I mean, it's a lot of games, a lot of teams. The only thing I'm not too big of a fan of is like when Bayern played Dynamo Zagreb and we won 10-2. That was kind of like a massacre. It didn't seem like a Champions League game. It almost felt like a friendly. So, and then Bayern goes and loses to Feyenoord 3-0.
Yeah.
So,
well,
who knows?
I don't know. Well, I guess the test will be what these knockout rounds look like and how it goes forward from here, because now it becomes a lot more traditional. And then especially once you get past to that next stage after these initial rounds of play-ins, really.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a lot more traditional with your home and homes, and so that part I'm really looking forward to. So.
Yeah. It'll be good. I'm really excited,
I think it's gonna be
and I'm hoping that we just kick it into form and run away with it.
Well, for your sake, I hope you do. I would say the same thing for Arsenal. Please.
I'd love another Bayern Arsenal Champions League draw.
I think that would be awesome.
We saw it this last year, and I was happy. We came out victorious, but
you would bring
it was a great day at the office, to say the least.
Why are you bringing up old stuff, Kai? I mean, that was so last year. But anyway, so as always, there's a lot of sports talk going on. I think we're pretty well-rounded in all of them. And the great college basketball, though, this weekend. I mean, especially if you're a University of Houston fan, if you watch that game versus Kansas, that was like this double overtime thriller. Awesome game, man. I loved it. And I know you were upset by Texas and Texas A&M, but
that's a good game as well.
The tournament is going to be March Madness is going to be spectacular, man. There are a lot of good teams and they're all rounding into shape right now.
I think right now there's like 8 teams that look like when they play at their top level, they look like they could win it all. Yeah. So
agreed.
There's a lot of competition this year.
Agreed. All right, guys. So what have y'all been watching? How did you spend your weekends? We watched, obviously, a lot of sports and we stayed up to speed on it because we have to talk to you about this stuff. So it's our job. But,
Yeah. Well, let us know your thoughts in the comments and follow us for next week. I mean, for sure, this next weekend, I'll probably be watching more sports. So
well, there won't be any NFL, though. So
no NFL, but Tuesday, Wednesday, we do have Champions League back up again. So
we have, and we still haven't got into NBA at all. And the NBA
we can raid
this year.
The Rockets have been doing awesome, but we probably need to push back a little bit because we still got to get through March Madness first.
All right. Well, we'll wait on that. Let us know what you think, guys. Hit us on socials. You know where to go. And thank you again for joining Dynamo Dynamics. We look forward to talking to you again next week.